Hey, yo, fellow collectors, how's it going? How y'all doing? What are we up to and what are we doing? Today, I got episode 2 of my Let's Talk Collectively series. And in this episode, I'm interviewing collectors. And without further ado, we got OG Vault. Man, it's a pleasure to have you. I'm thankful to have you here. It's crazy to have such a big streamer, so to speak, on with me. And
I don't know about that, but I appreciate you having me on.
hey, man, you're a pillar in the community, in my opinion.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Always, bro. So I just wanted to chat about what you're collecting and what your journey of collecting is and a bit of background of you. So like, let's just start off with what you've been doing in the VeVe community, just because you're here. So I had to ask, what brought you to VeVe? Why are you still here? You do live streams every drop, and you got always like 100 some over 200s like people watching you. It's crazy. So like, why are you still doing this?
Well, I got into it because I was trying to get into crypto. Of course, the big thing that was going on is everybody's talking about how they're making all these gains in crypto. So I wanted to get into it. It was the beginning of the pandemic, and I had went ahead and took out a bunch of savings that I had and decided to study crypto. And when I started studying crypto, I wanted to find a token that was really cheap, like a penny or 2 pennies, because I felt like for some reason in my mind that had a better chance of 10xing or 20xing if you buy something that's a penny or 2 pennies. So that's how I found Omi. That was one of the tokens that I looked up because it was so cheap at the time.
Okay.
And I decided to buy it because the tokenomics looked great. It had all these big licenses, but I wasn't into NFTs at all. I definitely wasn't into comic books. And I had gotten into NBA Top Shot because I'm a sports guy and I'd learned about NFTs that way. So whenever I was studying about Omi tokens and they're talking about NFTs, I kind of knew what they were talking about already. That's why I was attracted to it. But then after I had bought some of the tokens, I got up to like a 500,000 and they were at a penny at the time. So I obviously bought them way too high. But then I joined all the Ecomi Facebook groups, and that's when I started seeing people talk about the Todd McFarlane NFTs and how this was the first Batman on the blockchain. And I
Yep.
started getting
Yep.
interested into it. And then the collector part of me kicked in because I've always been a baseball card collector, a
Okay.
basketball card collector, and autograph collector. And then when I saw people were collecting these things in the same way, then that really piqued my interest, and I had to be involved.
Hell yeah, bro. So you basically came from crypto side before VV.
Pretty much since I was studying. I mean, I wasn't a crypto guy before that, but that was my whole plan was to get into crypto, and instead I got into NFTs instead.
Okay. Okay. So before crypto and VV and all that, were you just a basketball card guy? Nothing else?
Yeah, I had really gotten into baseball cards pretty heavily right before I found VeVe. Growing up, I've always been a collector on and off. I'm collected a lot, like in middle school, and then at some point my collection got stolen, so I just quit. And then again after college, I did part time at my local baseball card shop, and he
Okay.
started paying me in the cards that I like. So once again, I started to build up my collection. And then when I got married, I sold all those off for profit. And then, like I said, right before I found VeVe, it was during the pandemic, and I saw the prices of modern cards. The stuff at Walmart was selling out right away. You couldn't even find the packs because they were reselling at 2x or 3x the retail price. So I
Yeah.
started going to the Walmarts and picking up those packs. And of course, I can't resell packs without opening them. I opened them instead. But I
Yeah.
was looking for the Luis Robert. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a new player, and at the time, his cards were going for a ton. And I would just be lucky enough to hit them like every single time. So I started building up my collection, and I
Yeah.
started trading those off for the cards that I like, which are vintage cards. I've always been a vintage baseball card collector. I like the 1950s and 1960s stuff. Roberto Clemente is my favorite player, so I always have a lot of his cards. So all those cards I would get out of the packs that I didn't want, all the autographed numbered cards, I would sell those off to other people on Facebook and the Facebook groups for the vintage cards. And I started building up my vintage collection. And then I learned about TTM, which stands for through the mail, where people will send off their cards to the players to their houses to get them autographed, and the player
Oh
sends it
wow.
back, which adds a bunch of extra value to it. And I got into that as well, trying to get all of my old vintage cards autographed. So that's where I kind of ended up whenever I found out about VeVe. And then I kind of moved on. I was getting tired of baseball cards at that time anyway, and kind of moved on to the NFT thing.
Okay. Hell yeah. That's really cool. It's pretty crazy how you can go from physicals to digital pretty quickly.
Yeah, if you're a physical collector, though, you understand it more. You understand the idea of collecting these NFTs.
Right, right. So when did you start collecting baseball cards? Like from a kid? Like is that when you started pretty much?
I think I was in the first grade, and my mom had some boyfriend who wanted to impress her kids, so he bought us a bunch of baseball cards, and was my first baseball cards ever. I think it would probably be 1988. I know it's probably given my age. It would be 88 or 89 because I remember what the cards looked like. They were tops, and from there. We have a baseball card shop, a local baseball card shop that's really small, but it was close to my house. And I would just start riding my bicycle up there. And there was an old man who worked there who I became friends with. And I would actually sit there and straighten up his 25 cent and 50 cent cards. I'd spend like 30 minutes or an hour straightening up, making it look good. And then he'd let me pick out 5 or 10 cards and I'd build up my collection that way.
That's really cool, dude.
Yeah.
It's cool when local shops kind of like recognize you and you're like keeping it cool with them, and you can like get deals in here and there and like that. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. And it's really cool whenever you're a kid and you're looking at all these old vintage cards that you can't afford or whatever. And then you come back later when you have a job and you got a little extra money, you actually buy those cards and add them to your collection.
Yeah, no, I've actually looked into baseball cards, but like I don't know enough to really enjoy it because I know you got to be really deep into the sports like side of things to really enjoy that, right?
Yeah, you gotta know the players a little bit. It's all about either picking up new players who you think are going to be in the Hall of Fame. If you're like somebody who watches baseball every day and you think like Shohei Ohtani, if you know who he is, he's a new pitcher that's probably going to make it to the Hall of Fame. People are starting to buy his cards now when he's young because they're cheap. And
Right.
if he goes into the Hall of Fame 20, 30 years from now, those cards are going to be worth a ton. So you got people who don't know a lot about it, but they go ahead and just buy all the rookies and hope that one of those guys ends up being a star.
That's really cool. Yeah, do you ever like land like some big hitters where you just like, oh, I gotta sell this so I can keep collecting basically?
Not on baseball cards. I tried to do the whole pack thing where you'd open them up and get a good card, but no, I never get anything good. I'm not very lucky.
Hey, it happens. But it's the enjoyment of collecting, right? Like, you enjoy it most of the time.
Yeah. Well, that's one reason why though. I don't buy a lot of new packs. I'd rather buy the old cards that you already know what you're getting, just because I'm not very lucky anyway. So I'm not going to gamble.
Right. So like throughout this whole collecting journey, have you ever been pulled to different categories of collecting? Like now we're doing like a whole bunch of comics, we're doing VHS games. Have you ever introduced tried getting into any of that, or are you just pretty much strictly baseball cards, basketball cards?
Well, no, whenever they started dropping the comics as NFTs on the VeVe app, I'd never gotten into comics before. And at the time when they first dropped like MC1 and Amazing Spider-Man #1, nobody really cared that much. There wasn't a lot of comic collectors on the app and they're going for super cheap. But I
Yeah.
kind of related those to vintage baseball cards. So that I really understood how those were going to have value in the future, being the first on the blockchain, but also having the importance and the significance that other collectors in the physical world are going to see. So now that I see these and I'm collecting these, it makes me think maybe I should start collecting physical comics because I've always seen comic books everywhere I go to look for baseball cards. They always have a box or two of comic books, and I see people sorting through them. And now I have a bunch of covers in my head, and I know a little bit about Marvel Comics, so I could possibly go in there and maybe I could find some good stills that people are overlooking just because I have the experience that I learned from VeVe.
Yeah, it's definitely fun going through those boxes, especially when you find something nice.
See, I haven't started yet. I'm excited. I want to do that. Next time I find a box, I'm definitely going through it.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it because it's just like you're scrolling through to see what's in there, and there's possibly some good hits in there. Like sometimes like they overlook some good comics and or key comics. So I mean you have no like background in comics at all, huh?
No, not really. I mean, I watched the MCU movies. That's about it.
Same here, same here. Yeah, Vivi brought me into comics more. I was collecting comics here and there, but not as much as I do now.
Yeah, they definitely piqued my interest in it.
Well, have you ever really struggled with like picking and sticking to one category? Like you ever been like wanting to get into different categories of collecting, so it's like hard to be really stick on to one? Or
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do like vintage baseball and be all baseball, but then you want to get into basketball too because I'm a basketball fan, and right now you got all these old, super important players like John Stockton, Karl Malone, these guys that everybody knows, but their cards are like super super cheap. And if you go into like the Hall of Fame baseball cards, all those guys' stuff is expensive, but because they overproduce those basketball cards, it makes me want to start buying. I have a ton of them now, but I have bought lots of Karl Malones, lots of John Stocktons, Hakeem Olajuwons, all those guys that were really big in the 80s and the 90s that people don't really look at right now as collectible, but in the future 20 or 30 years now I think they're going to be important. The same with football cards. I didn't used to collect football cards either. I used to be only baseball, but I noticed that everybody that collects cards is only baseball, and people are overlooking the football and the basketball. So now I've started picking up football cards like Emmett Smiths and Troy Aikmans that are super cheap right now, but in the future are probably going to be worth something.
So would you say like you collect it for investment purposes or more like kind of both?
I think everything's for investment purposes, even though I enjoy
Okay.
collecting them. For example, if you see behind me the Hank Aaron 1958 tops and there's a Brooks Robinson on the other side, my
Mhm.
goal was to get as many of the 1958 tops autographed by the players as possible. Of course, a lot of them are
Okay.
already passed away because they're so old. So I was putting a real collection together. I mean, I
Right.
had over 200 of them, but the whole point of the collection was to eventually sell it one day. I don't know, I don't fathom the idea of collecting just to collect to always have. The point for me to collect is to collect something that's going to go up in value so I can cash it in later on.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. It's definitely a ball game. You gotta
Yeah,
play it right for sure. Definitely do your own research, not financial advice, always.
definitely.
So, I mean, it kind of goes back to the whole baseball cards, but how has your collection evolved over time? Like, has it grown? Has it decreased? Is it kind of just staying the same? Do you see a future like your future collecting just being huge, or kind of like only what you like, and then you can like trade off or sell off so you can get more cards that you're into?
I wish it was kind of like an NFT, like NFTs, where I could sell off all my cheap ones and then bring that all up and buy like a Grail or something. But it's a lot harder to sell cheap baseball cards. So I mean, over time, my collection's evolved a lot because I went from not collecting to collecting again to just selling everything and then back to collecting again. And I kind of like starting over with my collection because then I can focus on different things than I did last time. And for example, this time when I first started collecting again, I was going with the modern stuff because that's the stuff that was hot and people were reselling it. But once I started getting some of those, I realized that they weren't as enjoyable to me. I didn't want to go back and look at them like I do my vintage cards. So that's when I started trading those off and evolving that collection into more of a vintage collection that I like.
Okay, hell yeah, yeah. It's crazy in the Targets and WalMarts how clear those shelves can be.
Man, the lines too. People will be lined up for like 2 hours before they open. There'll be a line of like 40 guys
Yeah,
there in sandals and flip flops. It's ridiculous.
yeah, it's crazy. Have you ever seen like the clips where like the people at Walmart, like the ones working at Walmart, are like cashing in all the cards? It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if those are real or not. People get really upset about it. Sometimes I think they
Yeah,
fake that just to get views or something. Because if Walmart employees are really doing that on camera, I feel like Walmart would step in, or at least the card company would step in. But who knows?
yeah, you know, it's a trip. There's a lot of crazy things going on, over the counter deals, under the table deals and stuff like that. It's
OTC deals. Yep.
um, so I know you have a son. I don't mean to be weird, but have you guys been collecting things together? Do you guys have something you like to collect together? Or do you like plan on making a collection to have for like a not like a trust, but like to be part of the family forever? Like,
Yeah, I was really trying to get him into cards, and he got into cards a lot. And he's a big Kobe Bryant fan. So there was a
okay,
couple boxes that we bought that had some good Kobe hits in it that we were trying to get, and he ended up getting a couple good cards. He got a Kobe Bryant card with a jersey on it. He's had like I don't know 5 or 6 of the Kobe rookies, some of the best rookies possible, and he was really building up his basketball card collection. He likes basketball, he loves Kobe. But then he got into video games and he would just keep going on like, can I sell these for some V-Bucks? Can I sell these for some Robux? Can I trade them in for some kind of digital currency? So finally I was like, yeah, if that's what you want to do, then do it. So I let him sell his cards off and to cash it in for whatever it was that he wanted. I mean, that's his decision. If I got plenty of cards for him in the future, so that he can inherit. So if he doesn't really want to collect right now, then I don't blame him. He's only 12 years old. So
That's really cool, dude. It's nice when you have like a family tie or family bond where you can do things together like that. It's really cool.
yeah, and he's still interested in them, so I can still show it to him, show him my cards from time to time. He'll go through and look at all the old basketball players, the Jordans and stuff, and he actually knows all the old 80s and 90s players from looking at my cards, whereas I'm sure nobody else in his class does that age.
No, yeah, that's really cool. It's definitely like how do you say it? Like you can grow your knowledge on all these basketball players and stuff like that through these cards. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely, definitely.
So definitely a learning aspect to collecting, in my opinion. What would you say about that?
Yeah, not only learning about the players and the cards, but also learning about the market.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's market's a little hard to guess sometimes, but if you got the time in the market, you kind of understand everything, right? would you say it's easy or hard to start to like understand? It just takes time, right?
Which market do you mean? If the NFT market, it's almost unpredictable at this point. But if you're talking about
Okay.
like the baseball card market, it's very predictable because it's been
Okay.
around for so long, and you always can see what the levels are. If people are super excited, what the sentiment is pretty much in the baseball card collecting community. Like during the pandemic, sentiment was super high, and right now sentiment's super low, and you can kind of judge the market by that the same way you can on VeVe.
Okay, okay. So, bringing back up VeVe, like, does your son still collect with you on VeVe? I remember watching streams back in the day, like it was maybe a year ago, where he was still going, he was going for drops with you. You still doing that?
See, that's the thing, man. When he started going for drops with me, it was during the MC1, Marvel Comic #1, Amazing Spider-Man #1, and Fantastic Four #1 drops. And on those drops, we could do quick gate, and he could get like 12 or 15 drops, and he was crushing me. He was getting more than me. He even got, I think he got the ultra rare on the Fantastic Four #1 drop. Yeah, so he was crushing it. But then all these people came in and started buying on the app, and he couldn't even get
Yeah,
one, and he hated that. He was like, I was getting 12, now I can't even get one. I don't want to do it anymore. So he quit doing it. He still has his account, which has maybe like 2 or 3 NFTs in there, a couple comics and a Sam Wilson, but it's not KYC'd or anything. So he's really not
gotcha.
paying much attention to it anymore.
That's cool. Yeah, no, it's really cool that you guys do things together like that. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, it was fun. If
Um,
they bring anime though, I think he'll get back into it. He loves anime.
so he's a lot on Fortnite, you'd say, Roblox as well.
He hates Fortnite now. I think that's a kid thing where it's a meme like Fortnite is trash. I don't know, but he plays some game called Valorant now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
really cool. No,
Yep.
yeah, it's crazy like the digital age transferring or evolving from these video games to like digital assets, so to speak, because you got all these skins, all these things that you can hold and have like a sort of like an asset as far as in the game. It's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like the kids are already being trained to use NFTs in the metaverse in the future.
Yeah, no, it's definitely got some programming going on,
Yeah.
huh? So I know and you collect a lot of cards. So would you say all these baseball cards, basketball cards is your favorite thing to collect?
I would have to say NFTs would be my favorite thing to collect. I like the idea of the new technology that other people haven't discovered yet, and hopefully we're right to be collecting them. And in the future, they'll be worth a ton, and we'll be the smart people who got into them early. Everybody knows about baseball cards, and I don't really have anybody to show them to. Nobody to show them off to. I don't have a lot of friends that are baseball card collectors, but when it comes to NFTs, you're on the internet. There's plenty of people to show it to that collect them as well.
Yeah, this blockchain and NFTs, like it's definitely, I can definitely see it being the future of collecting for sure, because it brings transparency. Like, you know how like we can see what's being done behind doors. It's like there's nothing to be hidden. You can kind of see, you can buy and sell at an instant. It's really nice. Like it makes it how do you say it? Like you can make easy money, quick money.
It is definitely easy money. It's easy transfers. You don't have to worry about people shipping stuff to you or getting lost in the mail or anything like that. It's just a instant transaction.
Yeah, the crazy things that I've seen going through shipments, like damaged goods, like it's
Trust me, I know.
crazy.
I've
Are
had a
you?
lot of I've had a lot of cards disappeared in the mail that I send off to players to get autographed. I had one that had it was 4 people on it. It already had 3 of the autographs on there, and then it
Oh,
disappeared, being sent off to the 4th guy.
dang, that sucks.
Yeah, it's
That's
rough.
harsh.
Yep.
So I mean, speaking of NFTs, do you think this is the future of collecting? Do you think the traditional form of collecting via physical will be around forever, or will we evolve to just straight digital collecting? And do you think they can coexist forever? Or like I believe, I believe that it's digital is gonna be the way of the future, like 100%. But what do you think?
I think actually Fidgetal is the future, where it's going to be digital NFTs that are connected to authenticate physical collectibles. And, maybe there'll be a company like PSA where you'll have to send off your 1952 Mickey Mantle so that they can verify that it's authentic. Then they send it back to you along with the NFT that's on the blockchain forever that proves that that card is authentic for whatever reason. Because in the future, people might have some type of technology, printing technology, where they can recreate these vintage baseball cards that are worth thousands of dollars, and they could just make them on their computer and print them out and then go sell them to the baseball card shop. So whenever that happens, you're going to have to authenticate the ones that are actually real. And I think that's what NFTs are going to be really big on, is authenticating physical items.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a interesting one to see. I mean, I haven't really done too much research. I'm doing a little bit of research here and there, kind of learning from VeVe. I didn't come from crypto space. I saw VeVe Golden Moments on a TikTok, and I was like, Disney NFTs. That's a no brainer. Like, definitely 100%. So with VeVe again, do you collect a lot on there, or would you say you more like to take the profit as much as you can?
I've always flipped to collect. Like I'll flip a
Okay.
drop that just came out so I can build up my gems so I can go get the Aston Martin that I've been trying to get for a while or the Becky Cloonan Batman. So I've always wanted to flip my way up into the big collectibles that I want to hold long term. But then, after all the stuff that's gone on recently, kind of lost my confidence in the team and the future of VeVe. Kind of worried that it's not going to be the platform to collect on. So I haven't been holding any grails. I've been selling off all my stuff right now and just kind of keeping my eye on what's going on.
Okay. Okay. No worries, man. It's all good. I mean, it's a journey, right? We're all gonna go different ways, and if it's leaving VV behind, so be it.
Yep.
Um, Shoot, I had another question. Oh, in your view, what does it mean to be a collector?
Well, I think VeVe's definition of a collector is somebody who buys the drops and doesn't sell them, even though they know the price is going to go down, which to me is ridiculous and silly. But my definition of a collector would just be somebody who's holding stuff. I mean, it doesn't even have to be you're planning on holding it for long term. I don't know, you're gathering stuff up. It could be for profit. It could be to look at later. It's just a gathering of particular items.
Like things you love, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty
Well, it doesn't
much.
even have to be things you love, really. You could just be
Yeah,
collecting. I mean, I could go out there and collect something that I hate that I think is going to 2x in value in the next month, and I'll just
yeah,
buy as many
that's
as I
true.
can until before they 2x. So I don't even think it necessarily has to be something you love.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, because there's a lot of like insiders for comics. That I can relate this to comics because recently I got to get 3 copies of Spider Boy. I don't know if you've heard of him yet, but
I haven't.
basically at retail, I got it at retail, 3 of them, and they instantly like went up to $40, $50, and
Nice.
so it's really cool to get ahead of the game, something like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
so I mean, what advice would you have for someone that's just starting out collecting, like new collectors, so to speak?
Well, I think it probably depend on what they're collecting. A
Mhm.
new collector, I would tell them not to invest too much until they learn the market of whatever they're collecting more.
Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah. Um, Deuce. I think that was pretty much all of them. Dang, that was quick.
To have short answers, sorry.
No, no, bro. No, it's probably me too. I'm pretty quick with just trying to come up with random things, and it's really cool to have you on and just chit chat about collecting, and it's cool to hear a little bit about your background. But besides collecting, what I mean, do you mind sharing a bit about what you've done in the past? I know you've done a lot of eBay. So I mean, is there anything else like besides eBay?
Let's see. I don't know. I majored in, I have a degree in computer science and I minored in mathematics and creative writing. I've been published. I do a little bit of writing on the side. I have a couple of other YouTube channels that I work on, including a UFO YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. And, but mostly I've been working for the United States Census Bureau as a cartographic technician, which is just somebody who makes maps digitally. And I'll usually just go on 2-year contracts with them whenever they have a new project. And I just, I don't, just about it. Just work, work and
Okay,
raise my
that's
kid. Honestly,
hey, that's pretty cool. What was your degree in?
bachelor's of science in computer science. So it was a
Okay.
lot of math and a lot of coding. Although they didn't teach us a lot about hardware. It's just pretty much all software stuff.
Okay, okay. That's really cool. That's a pretty cool like background to have, I think, because it's like kind of engineering in a way, don't you think? Or no?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a lot like engineering, but I think it was the wrong major to have in my area because I'm in Indiana. There's just not a lot of computer jobs around here.
Gotcha, gotcha. Were you born and raised in Indiana?
Yep, born and raised Hoosier.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never, I don't think I've ever been. I don't even know where that's at on the map.
Where are you from?
I'm from Cali.
Cali, nice. Yeah, I was just there for decon not too long ago.
Did you have fun with that?
Oh yeah, it was really fun. It was nice going to the beach for the first time on that side of the country. I've been to Florida plenty of times, but I've never been out west, so that was definitely a new experience.
Okay, yeah. Did you get to have it in and out?
We had In and Out once, and it was so good that we went back and had it again. It was delicious. I wish we had an In and Out here. Monster style, I think, is what they called it. I did it the second time, and they put all the extra stuff on there. Oh yeah, In and Out was. I was definitely. I was wrong about it because I was telling my kid's always like, we didn't want In and Out. I'm like, it's just like McDonald's. It's just another burger, dude. Who cares?
Yeah,
But I was
yeah.
wrong. My chat was right. In and Out is life changing. That's what they told me, and it was delicious.
No, it's great. Like some people say it's overhyped. I would agree it's kind of overhyped because I live here, but it's man, it's good. I could have that every week.
Yeah, yeah, it was delicious. We had it a couple times.
So did you only go to Decon?
We went to the Disney World out there because we've been to the Disney in Florida, so we had to go to the one in California, which was much smaller than the one in Florida.
Oh
And
yeah.
like I said, we went to the beach, and then we actually stayed in Vegas for 4 or 5 days. I got tattooed by VeVe Arcade. He worked on my chest piece for me, and we hung out with him a couple of days, and we went to all the kid arcade stuff, not kid arcade, but like kid casino stuff they have in Las Vegas, all the fun stuff for kids to do, and just hung out there for a few days.
That's really dope. Yeah, I've seen. I know I've seen you guys do a live stream, or you guys do a giveaway or trivia.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever actually watched though, because I've only at work I kind of just play you guys and put you guys in the background so I can hear what's going on. It's cool to hear you guys talk, and I enjoy your live streams. I enjoy
Thank
like
you.
all like most of your drops and everything. It's pretty fun. I mean, is there anything like outside of your channel that you don't really ever like talk about? I don't know.
Anything outside of my channel that I don't really talk about?
I guess you could talk about your UFO channel a little bit. Like what? So
Well, see,
what? I guess what made you want to do YouTube in the first place?
really nothing. I had no plans of doing YouTube. I'll tell the story before. It was like a couple years before I started my YouTube channel. My kid was always talking about how he wanted to stream because he always likes watching particular streamers. There's one called Creekcraft, another one named Flamingo that he was big into, and I would sign him up to be on their Patreons. They would send him T-shirts and stuff. And he's like, I want to stream or whatever. So one Christmas, I buy him a ring light, a really nice webcam, and a really nice microphone. And I was like, all
Mhm.
right, now you can stream. So he started streaming. But when he streams, he just shares his screen. He doesn't turn on the camera and he doesn't turn on the mic. So he doesn't use any of that equipment whatsoever. So then
Yeah.
whenever I got into VeVe, there's this guy named Michael Keane in all the Facebook groups saying, we need more YouTubers. Somebody start a YouTube channel. And I've always liked doing editing. Like I said, I did this UFO channel. I started that like 12 years ago, just playing around in my spare time when my kid was just born and I was off of work for a few months to help take care of him. And one of the videos I did has almost 200,000 views now, and most of them have like 40 or 50,000 views. And I still have hundreds of subscribers on that channel, even though I haven't posted to it in like over 10 years. So
Oh
I
wow.
decided to, now that I've learned a little bit more editing skills from this VB channel, that I can apply that now to the UFO channel and make some UFO videos and UFO content that'll probably get more views than NFT content.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. You're the definitely UFOs will take off because everyone's just like, oh, I need to see what's going on in the world.
It's always interesting, definitely.
I have seen a couple of your edits. They definitely have gotten better over time. It's really cool. What like encouraged you to just go for that and keep on making edits like that?
Well, I mean, what at the time, whenever I was first doing YouTube, and I was one of the smaller YouTubers, it wasn't like I was making any money from it for anything. But at the time, I was doing so well on VeVe, making plenty of money and building up my account. I had plenty of extra money at the time, so that wasn't even a problem. Then, whenever the bull run came, when you came around, Disney Golden Moments, and my channel blew up. For a while there, I was making $2,000 or $3,000 a month just from the YouTube advertising, not even taking on sponsors or anything like that. So, I mean, I felt like the opportunity was there with an unlimited potential. I mean, you never know. VeVe could blow up and then my channel could blow up. I could go to 100,000 subscribers and be making six figures just from YouTube. So I felt like it was a good opportunity to pursue. Although at this point, it maybe not might not have been. However, it was a fun ride.
No, yeah, you meet a lot of people. It's really cool that you can like the VV has kind of brought in a lot of collectors and crypto boys and all these different people, and now we're all kind of like coming together in different areas to just talk about NFTs, the blockchain, Web3. Like it's like it's cool how, in my opinion, it's cool how VV has brought so many different people together, and now we're all doing this. Like I never would have thought I'd be doing a YouTube channel. Like a year ago, I would not be talking to anybody. I'm most antisocial person ever, and it's just like it's a trip. So it's really really nice to have had you come on. I know you. I saw a post like where basically no one was interviewing you, and I was like, I kind of want to like give it a shot, and why not just give you the little spotlight in a different way, and show you in a different way. Because I mean, everyone hates on you, and everyone has this like idea of you, and I get it. I get it because Twitter, you split, splatter, whatever you want to say, and I'm that way. I'll say whatever I want to say on Twitter. Do you feel like people have just completely shut you out, or is just like a, how do you say it, like a everyone wants to kind of like feed off of your how do you say it?
Trying to get the clout.
Drama. Yeah,
Yeah.
the clout. That's what it is. The clout.
I don't know. I think the Dan Carter's guy who runs VeVe just decided he hated me long ago. I think it was probably due to Clockgate, or maybe I called him short or something. But he decided he hated me, and now all the Moon Boys, all the VeVe content creators that want VeVe to love them, they decide they have to hate me too because Dan Carter's hates me and VeVe hates me. So they got to jump on that bandwagon. And if you hate on me, I hate on you back. So I'm not like the dude that's gonna just
Right.
be nice to you. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm still nice to people that hate on me a little bit, but there's always a limit, and I'm not afraid to talk back to them. So I think it's all VeVe just really started it and and makes it keep going. And there's really not much anybody can do about it. The Moon Boys are going to do what VeVe tells them to do.
Right. Yeah, that's it. It's kind of sad because, in my opinion, you've been a big pillar. Like the first couple people I looked up, it was you, and the Gale. The no one else. That was the first two people that I looked into, and I'm not gonna lie, I looked into Cavell, and I was just like, I'm bored. I'm sorry, but I'm bored. You brought some fun to the streams with like going for the drops, teaching different ways, making speculations. Like I mean, everyone's doing that, but I got stuck with you, and kind of like little, not really anybody else, and just recently getting into YouTube channel, I've been like kind of seeing all these different people, Superstar, NFT Pirates, all these like influential people. So it's like it's a crazy ride for sure.
It's like no other platform has like tons of different YouTubers like that, even something big like NBA Top Shot, so that whenever you come into the community as a new user and you want to look for some content about this platform, you might not like my personality, which obviously people don't. You might like somebody who's super, super positive at all times, and that's what you want to listen to. There's all different types of people. So any new person who comes in the community can have somebody that they can relate to, that they can watch content through.
Right. Yeah, and I've always enjoyed your streams because you're just straightforward.
Yeah, I tell it how it is.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you give out, it's what you get back, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of where I'm stuck. I mean, I've asked about your YouTube channel, and speaking of, this is OG Vault. He does live streams every drop. He does all these speculation videos and funny videos, editing and stuff like that. His Twitter's going crazy. So definitely give a subscribe to OG Vault if you're not already. He's definitely a cool guy in my opinion. He's fun. You definitely bring some fun to the community.
I do try to keep it fun. I mean, I feel like a lot of people aren't really bringing entertainment. They're bringing more information. I want to bring some entertainment too. That's why we do the trivia with Arcade and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, Arcade's killing it, dude.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. Did you guys have a relationship before VeVe at all?
No, not at all. We just have a lot in common. I don't know. I get along really well with him.
That's dope. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, you guys have been doing trivia for a little while, right?
Yeah, not too long, probably like 6 months. I feel like we did it when I was at Decon because we shot it from his studio, and I think we started a couple months from that before that. So it's been almost 6 months now that we've been doing trivia. People enjoy it. They come to the live streams, they play along, and then everybody wins prizes who got the top scores.
Yeah, people love winning prizes.
Of course.
And free things. Free things are awesome.
Yep. Of course,
uh,
everybody loves that. That's why I miss doing all the giveaways and stuff since we don't have transfers. Because that used to bring a lot of people into the community, getting their first NFTs from VeVe through a giveaway for free. That gets them more interested into the app. But I can see why they turned the transfers off because the whole botting issue was a major problem, and that's how those guys were filling up their accounts with gems to be able to purchase the drops.
yeah. Speaking of that, did you ever believe we had over 1 million users?
Man, during Disney Golden Moments, there was a
Maybe, right?
ton of people. I don't, yeah, that a million's a lot, maybe not.
I mean, it definitely brought in a lot of people. I mean, including me. It was an eye turner, the head turner for sure. Did you ever see Disney coming to VeVe before they came out?
No, not really. Honestly, that was huge. Yeah, Marvel. Well, I guess Marvel was bigger. Once Marvel came, we kind of felt like Disney was coming too because they're associated. But I didn't really think they were getting Marvel, even though they would tease it and everybody be like, "We're getting Marvel." That was a big, huge announcement. That's like this is real now. That was when I would definitely started really believing in VV and was like, "All right, I need to get my money out of Zed Run because I had put a lot of money into Zed Run. Need to get my money out of Terra Virtua and start buying these Batmans and these VV NFTs."
Yeah, it's all relatable. The DC, Marvel, like all of these are relatable, and it's like you have to get into it. I don't know. Like for me, I'm a big Marvel guy. I love Spider-Man. I really wish I was around at the time of that drop because I think I would have gotten the secret rare at that time. It was cheaper when it first came out, right?
No, I
Or
mean that
no?
was not a blind box drop where you would had to have gone for the secret rare. I think it was like 400 retail, and like everybody was going for the secret rare at the same
Of
time. So
course.
everybody was using the Align Gate and spamming. I don't even think I went for that. I probably went for the ultra rare because I felt like I couldn't get the secret rare.
Right, right. Yeah, speaking of a lion gate, it reminds me of the lion gate where you had to roar to get your drops, bro.
Yeah. I just made that up one day because somebody kept people in the chat. They hear me say Align Gate, and they hear Lion Gate, and they're like, "What's Lion Gate?" I'm like, "Lion Gate? That's not a thing." I'm like, "All right, we'll make it a thing."
Yeah, no, it was funny that day. I enjoyed
Appreciate
it.
it.
Um, but man, you've done a lot. You've done a lot for the VV community, in my opinion.
Appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Of course, yeah. Like I think I've started watching you on my like personal account about 2 years ago, I'd say, and
Also, you've been here for
it,
a while.
yeah, I've been around for a while. I was just in the background. I was just like not really wanting to, I guess, put a word out or anything like that. I was just sharing here and there.
Sure.
But then I just wanted to really engage with the community and share the journey of collecting. Because it's I don't know, it's fun, and I want to bring the fun, and I want to share the love of collecting. I enjoy it. I hope everyone else can enjoy it. Even you and your son obviously enjoy collecting. You got your baseball cards, trading basketball cards, all these cards, and um, it's really cool to see, honestly.
And it's cool how I don't know how it is, but something about this VV community, everybody wants to get up there and share and be involved like you did. Like you said, you were just in the background. It was just the addictiveness of the community and the closeness of the community makes you want to put your face out there and get involved and be part of it. And that's why we have so many VV YouTubers and so many people running Twitter Spaces. The community is really, you would think Disney and Marvel would be the selling point of the VV app, but really it's the community because once people get into the app and get involved in the community, they don't want to leave.
Right, right, yeah, definitely. I don't want to leave.
Right,
It's
right.
so much fun.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
exactly.
No, but shout out to you. Shout out WebD Collective and the Real Uncommon podcast because a couple of my questions I kind of stemmed off of Hanano. I don't know if you've heard of him or his
Yes, of
podcast, but
course.
he definitely kind of encouraged me to kind of just go with this. I hadn't talked about it. I hadn't brought it up to anybody. I didn't want to how to say like promote it. I was just like, here, let's go. Let's get this interview in. And everyone's gonna be like, whoa, what? How did this guy just get this interview like that?
He's gonna come out of nowhere, left field.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's been really cool to chat with you. I really enjoyed it. Like I learned, probably learned a little bit about your cards and a bit about your background. It's really cool.
Thank you.
I mean, thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for
I
having me
don't,
on it. I appreciate
yeah, no,
that.
of course. Um, so shout out to all you guys. I love you guys. Don't dissolve. Stay evolved, my friends. Deuce. Oh yeah, bro. I appreciate you.
Perfect.